welcome to the channel, and today we're going to talk about another annoying passenger type. We tend to refer to these as the trip modifier. Now, a trip modifier is a passenger who will put a request out to Uber for a journey going from A to B. You'll get it up on the screen, you assess it. Money wise, it looks all right, so you go for it. So while en route, you'll get a notification on the app saying rider modified trip. We've all had it. So you go in and have a look, and you'll see they've added a stop, maybe 2 stops. So straight away, these sort of trips, not interested, And the reason for that is when I've accepted the trip, I've done it on the basis it's paying me a certain amount of money. I'm going from point A to point B, and that's it. So, once these trips have been modified, adding a stop on, sometimes you might get paid a bit more. But obviously, it's going to eat into your time and your profit. So we're all in this game to make money. End of the day, we've all got our own businesses. So what I tend to do with these is, if it happens while I'm on way to the job, I'll turn out right to the pickup location and then just politely, advise the rider that obviously due to the changes being made in the app, that, the trip will be cancelled, and that obviously you've got to wait until 5 minutes have elapsed, and then I'll cancel the trip. In every case, I will always ensure the rider's charged a cancellation fee because it's them that's changed the trip, not me. And I just advise them. I said, if you need to add stops onto a trip, do it as you put the request out and the driver can see. So a driver that's looking for trips which might have multiple stops can accept it. And I also explain to them, in simple terms, it's a bit like, if you asked a plasterer, say, to come to your house on a certain day and he's going to plaster, say, 1 bedroom. He's not going to be very happy if, while either on his way to you to do that work, or once he gets there, you actually say, I'd now like you to plaster 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms. He's not going to do it because obviously he's factored in that was the job, and, he's probably got other jobs to go to straight after that. So jobs like that, I cancel them every time. And what I do as well is, I get Uber to actually block pairing with with passengers that do that, because the last thing you want is further down the line, especially if you work in a small area, is to pick that passenger up again, because obviously they're going to be a bit annoyed that you didn't accommodate the request for these extra stops. So what they'll do is, if you end up picking them up again, they're just going to give you a bad rating. So to protect your rating, it's always best just to get Uber to just block them from future pairing, because obviously it's not a passenger you want to pick up again. If if it's profit you're after, So at the end of the day, we're taking riders from A to B, not A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So yeah, so that's the ones where they actually add a stop. And also, some of them, what they'll do is they'll wait while you start the trip, and then they'll say, "Oh, I need to add a stop." So once you start the trip, it's quite tricky, really. You sort of have to really do these stops, otherwise, you're going to end up with a bad rating. So I always say to them, I just confirm we're going from A to B. You don't require any additional stops. And if they do say, "Oh yeah, I need to add a stop," then obviously, we'll cancel the ride and explain to them, you need to request it, but add the stops on, and then obviously it'll go out and another driver will be picking you up. The other one as well, which we've probably all had. So you're driving along, it might be a short ride going from A to B. You might be finishing your shift, so it might be heading sort of like to where you want to be at the end of your shift. It'll say rider change, modified trip again, or change destination. I can't remember. I think it just says modified trip. And then you'll notice the price may have gone up from, say, £6 to, say, 15. So straight away, that it's going to be a longer trip. So I'll give you an example. I had a trip, so it was going from A to B, and it was sort of heading sort of like halfway to where I wanted to be when I'm finishing my shift. So I took the job. About a mile from pickup, it said, ride and modified trip. It had gone up from like £6 or whatever to like 15. So straight away I'm like, well, we'll go to the pickup and obviously explain that, now the trip's been modified, it's going to be cancelled. So arrived at the pickup. Obviously we can't see the new destination until we start the trip. So the destination was actually about 10 miles or something, but it was in the opposite direction to what I wanted to go. So obviously, there's no profit in that, because by the time I've done that, end of my shift, I'm coming all that way back empty, wasting my fuel. So it's unprofitable. So obviously politely explained to them, obviously that I can't do it, it's going the wrong way, I'm finishing my shift soon, and that'll cancel it, and obviously they'll be charged a fee, obviously costs my fuel and time got to be paid for going out to that original request, which was A to B short ride. So yeah, it's a shame Uber can't do more about this. Like, once the trip's accepted, it shouldn't let the rider make any changes to it, or if they try and make changes to it, it comes up on the app and it has to be approved by the driver or declined by the driver. But yeah, the technology's there, so I don't know why they don't actually do that. But yeah, I don't entertain these trip modifications. In every case, the trip's cancelled and the rider's blocked from any future transport, from myself. But yeah, every now and again I might do a trip with multiple stops, but that'll be one where I see it up front, and it might be during the day in the a weekday when it's quiet. So rather than sat about, you might do it. But obviously when it's peak time on a morning, you've got a certain amount of hours to get in as much money as possible, so you don't want to be sat going from A to B to C to D to E and F or whatever. So yeah, so I mean, every driver's different, but yeah, it is a bit of an annoyance, and it's a shame Uber can't fix that. It's really simple to implement, and it'll cause less hassle for the drivers, and we can be getting on with these more profitable jobs. So yeah, so let me know what your experiences are, and what you do in regards to these trip modifications. But yeah, right, we'll see you in the next video. Yep, see you later.